One. Hello, I am Arez. This is War on Maps, and today we have a very special guest.
Gator Little T right here, people, aka Toros Montoya. Just kidding, it's just Toros.
All right. So, yeah, we are looking. This video is about what if the Roman Empire united? And it looks big. The world looks like, let's zoom out on this. Look at the world. Red is Rome. And guess what? That's huge. So, yeah, there's some places that might not be too happy. Like Germany, they lost half of their stuff. The British lost a lot. And Ukraine and Russia lost Crimea. These guys lost all their coasts, aka their important stuff. But yeah, let's get this going. So, Rome is going to try to do something they failed at, and that's conquer Germany. And Germany knows they don't stand a chance, so they just surrender. Because that's, I don't need to explain it. Germany doesn't stand a chance. And after gaining, well, that huge economy and a lot of people, Rome is looking even bigger. And now Russia and Ukraine are kind of mad at Rome for taking over, well,
So,
they are going to invade it. All right. So, yeah, this is a surprise. So the Russians and Ukrainians somehow work together and push down and take over Crimea. But then Rome starts sending in troops, and there's an advance into Ukraine. And of course, Rome is always gonna try this, invade mountains. Literal mountains there. But it is working, and the Roman Navy is probably, well, a lot stronger than these two combined, at least in the Black Sea. So they are able to make a landing on Crimea and take over the Crimean Bridge, and also push down Russia and also take over all of Crimea, except for Sevastopol, which has some Russian troops sieged, just like in World War II. And then there's an advance into Ukraine, and eventually more of Ukraine is captured. And finally, the Romans break through the mountains using bombs. Just kidding. They just walk up the mountains.
And no bombs.
And eventually they are able to reach some flatter areas. And they're able to completely take over the entire Black Sea coast, except for Sevastopol, which falls. And Russia and Ukraine don't find any more reason to, well, keep doing this. And because Rome wins this war, they get what they want. The Black Sea. They get this and this entire area because they wanted it. Because it's Rome and you just got beat up by Rome, you can't say no. Especially when they captured your coastline. So yeah. And that is part of Rome. So now the Romans have the entire Mediterranean, like they probably want. And the UK is kind of like, I'll just join you. Because, well, they lost literally their entire population. Well, not literally, they lost most of their population, so yeah. Because most of it is in England and Wales. So yeah. So this is New Rome. They're a lot bigger. But it's not done with... Hey, why did I highlight that? Yeah, Rome is now gonna invade Poland. even though Poland did literally nothing to it. So it's going like, well, we just want some more stuff. So they go on and just push into Poland from, well, their huge border with Poland. That's very flat as well. And Taurus, who do you want to win, Rome or Poland?
I'm guessing Rome
And why?
because it's Rome.
You're right. That is true.
Let's go.
Even though Rome couldn't beat itself.
Oof.
When it collapsed, it couldn't beat itself. So, yeah. Sad. And eventually, Poland is completely captured. And Poland becomes a colony. Even though colonies are kind of illegal now. European powers are like, no more colonies, but because literally Rome just defeated the European power, nobody cares. But this guy is pretty mad. So they go, get some allies. They go out and get some allies. Somehow Russia is like, we'll do it. Because they want their Black Sea back. Also, Saudi Arabia wants some stuff back. These guys definitely want some stuff. And China knows they have a bigger economy than them, so they also want to break down their economy. And yeah, you have 3 ginormous nuclear powers, 3 ginormous countries, 3 extremely powerful countries that are going to do what? Invade Rome. And Rome was not prepared for this, but now they're mobilizing a ton of troops, like a ton. And Switzerland, the Swiss area over here, is not so happy about being in a war, but they can't do anything. But yeah, so first thing, Ireland manages to somehow capture Northern Ireland. And British rebels pop up and go like, we know you're gonna lose. So, man, we're not just gonna be with you. And then of course we repeat World War II where there's a landing in Normandy. And also these guys aren't able to push in because it's Rome and they're weak. But they are able to make a landing down there. But that one gets kicked out. And we're gonna zoom in on this. So the landing manages to capture some more land in Gaul. I know it's called France, but historically it's been called Gaul. So we're just gonna call it that because it sounds smarter.
And whatever, so.
Yeah. The US probably even has a smaller economy than this guy, which annoyed it, so it wants to destroy this guy's economy. And eventually it sends a lot of troops into Africa, which managed to cut Africa into 2, and then make a landing in Sicily, like World War II. But that's as far as they get because this is Italian homeland. They'll never be able to get Rome. Especially because Rome is sending all their soldiers here. And all their soldiers here. And they also send a lot of soldiers into Kaliningrad. And the Baltics, which are capitulated. And Belarus and Ukraine. And this area. And Saudi Arabia. But, so it looks like only the Nordics, the British, the Irish, and the Russians, Chinese, and Americans are still alive. Except that something's gonna happen that happened a lot in history. Some rebels pop up in the Israel area. Because it's happened a lot in history, so why not let it happen again? And they managed to take over the Suez Canal. Great news for the British. And they also managed to take over Cyprus. And they also managed to take over Sinai. And that stuff. And then that's as far as they get because they're running low on troops. But this is a good staging ground for the blue team. So they swarm troops in there and then make a landing on Crete and then some more islands and then some landing on Greece and a ton of landings in Turkey because Turkey's really close to Cyprus. And then after capturing that much, there's a stalemate. And yeah. And what else? There's now a push through Morocco, and which captures Gibraltar and the Strait of Gibraltar, which blocks all Roman trade inside the Mediterranean, which is horrible news for the Romans. And yeah, that crashed their economy because, well, Rome likes the Mediterranean. And now there's a push into Iberia. No, this is called Spain. I'm trying to teach Tauros geography.
Yes, I don't know anything about geography.
Nice job making you sound stupid.
I know, right?
And then there's also some landings on the Spanish islands. Then another landing on Sicily, which gets kicked out. Then another landing in France, which actually works. Then a landing in the lowlands, which links up with the landing in France and eventually manages to capture a huge amount of area. And Rome knows eventually they won't stand a chance. So they decide to surrender, and in the peace treaty, we are going to see the peace treaty in a second. And the peace treaty calls for getting rid of Rome. So this can't happen again.
Do fit, Rome.
That's not nice.
Okay, sorry, Rome.
But yeah, now the last remnant of actual Rome is Italy. So yeah. So let's say thank you to our special guest.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching.
And check out more on Maps More. Really good channel.
And also don't forget to, if you like this series, there's a series about what if this united, and there's what if Austria-Hungary united, what if Russia, actually no, that's not there. I think those are the only empires.
And don't worry, like and subscribe, it's down below.
And I hope I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.